All right, on this episode of the LPDS, we get into some Yankees Mets playoff updates because we got the playoffs still going on. I got some LPDS universe updates and current events that we'll talk about. And then we got I guess it's another LPDS universe update for the Junction as well. Then we got a hotline call. And of course, we got a tremendous Nic Cage fact as usual. So all that's coming up right now. All right, Jabronis, we're back. Welcome back to the Libretti Podcast Diary Show. I'm your host, Libretti, the show that talks about nothing but tries to find the lessons in everything, and we have a good time doing it. Thank you for being here. Don't forget to hit the hotline, 202-670-1114. Hope everybody had a good week. I had a long week. I had a real long week. I don't know why. Not bad, just long. Just a lot of stuff going on. I'm behind on stuff I want to do. My weekend's going to be pretty much stuff around the house and not a lot of socializing and going out and relaxing, which is fine. I got to get the stuff done so that I can socialize and relax. But it was a long week. I'm glad it was over. I'm recording this at the end of the week, so by the time this posts, I'll have a whole weekend plus worth of chores getting done, and maybe I'll get a little rest in. I need some rest. I'm mentally tired. I am not cut out for full throttle mental games 100% of the time, 24/7, 365. I need mental breaks. And I'm usually pretty good about scheduling those in, so we're about due for one of those. I was talking last week or last episode about the mental rut I've been powering through. We're through, but it takes a lot of it takes a lot out of me, a lot of energy out of me. That's what I wanted to say, a lot of energy. So I'll take that mental break, and then we'll be back at it again. Hopefully soon though, because I got a lot of other stuff. There's a lot in the hopper for the LPDS universe over here. A lot of different opportunities coming up that I'm trying to take advantage of. A lot of different things I want to do, especially before the holidays roll out. And then I'm going to be going up to Jersey again at the end of December. So I want to get stuff done. I want to make some serious strides and progress while we're in the winter arc. Don't forget, we're full on in the arc, and we can't be letting up. So you let up and you're like everybody else. And that's fine. There's nothing wrong with everybody else, but I also don't want to be everybody else. And I think it's safe to say that you find folks in the LPDS community in the Junction also don't want to be like everybody else. And you just want to strive to be different. And to me, being different right now is being in the arc, is being arced up, fully arced up, and taking advantage of that window we have when everybody else is going to be slowly lulling themselves to sleep for the holidays and the time off of work and the what have yous. Meanwhile, the Junction train is rolling and we're on the up and up. And that's what I want for us. So that's that. Let's see what we got here. A little announcement. If you've been following anything I've saying recently, you know that I was doing this Instagram profile and dating thing as a part-time temporary experimental gig for this dating coach on Instagram to essentially help bring a new perspective to dating coaching businesses and to get eyeballs on her business. And then the more eyeballs on her business ends up being better for me for that page and growth and money and all that good stuff. I got an extension. That's the announcement. I got an extension for at least another month, it looks like. So I'm kind of excited about that. It's been fun to do that stuff. It's silly. Some of the stuff is not popular, like it's not hitting, but we're still experimenting to try to figure out what's going to be engaging and what's going to bring the eyeballs on. What's going to bring the clientele, and we're going to move. We're going to go from there. So, like I said, I'm still having fun doing it. It's not necessarily so much about the money for me right now because I am learning a lot of different things. It's going to be helping me for Spearhead in the long run. I'll be able to continue building that professional relationship with this person and her husband, and also, help maybe grow other relationships professionally for Spearhead as well. So there's a lot of upside, and the downside right now is doing the work for it and taking the time to do the work, and it's not really that much extra time. Sometimes I forget to record some things when I'm out and about doing stuff that's going to be good content for it. So I got to get better at that because I'm just not used to that. I'm not used to filming everything. That's where I go back to again. I've been saying this for years. I wish I was already rich because then I just have a guy filming everything I do. And then we could take the time to cut what's actually good and entertaining and throw that out there for the world to see. So one day I'll be able to do that. Today is not the day. So I got to record myself. I got to remember to be okay with those awkward, weird, cringy times of recording, your meals at restaurants, stuff like that I don't actually like to do that stuff. That's the one part I don't like is taking away from the moment to record something. So I try to keep it brief and unintruding to those around me. And then I can make some content with that on the back end. The content part at the back end is fun for me. Creating stupid, silly, jokes and narrations and videos. That's cool. The recording portion, some of it's fun, some of it's not so fun. But that's how it is for everything in life, not just for that gig. But anyway, got the extension. I'm very excited about it. If you want to check it out, it's on Instagram at Libretti_dating. If you get butthurt by the fact that I'm putting this stuff out there and you think I'm like a womanizer and stuff because of it, I assure you, I'm not eyesing any woman. I'm not doing any of that stuff. That's not my bag. That's not who I am. I don't even like going on more than 2 dates in a week with the same woman during the school week, let alone multiple women. So I assure you I'm not womanizing. But if you have a problem, you don't believe me, don't follow the page. I'm not going to change what I'm doing right now for anybody because this is actually bringing me in some sort of a revenue stream right now. And I'm not doing anything morally or ethically wrong or bad or anything like that. So there you go. Go check it out. Anyway, I think we're going to move on. I think we have a new trend going on in the dating app profile prompts world. We've talked about the yappers. We talked about the very demure, very mindful crap. I think we got a new one on the horizon. And I've seen it in multiple profiles on multiple apps so far just this week alone. And that is any form of the phrase rotting on the couch. Now, I've seen it in prompts where it says like my simple pleasures rotting on the couch, or typical Sunday is I rot on the couch, or I rot in bed. Anything with rotting and doing nothing and being a bum and lounging around and relaxing, they're putting a little self-deprecating spin on it, which I'm all for the self-deprecation jokes and stuff, as long as you're not, diving down and spiraling into that negative self-talk. We don't like that. But I like a good joke here or there, obviously. I do it all the time against myself. But that's what it is now. Rotting on the couch. I like to rot. Typical Sunday, I like to rot. Simple pleasures, I rot. I have no idea where these are coming from. I have to imagine it's TikTok because I'm not on TikTok. So I can't see any of that stuff. And I know that stuff, the is it virality of videos is so aggressive on there that if it hits, it takes over by, it takes the internet by storm, and then everybody's using that stuff immediately, like the same day that stuff comes out. So I have to imagine it's from TikTok. I don't know if I'm ever going to get a TikTok. I was considering it for Spearhead or for other, the other endeavors I'm working on right now, because of the aggressive, nature of getting engagement and attention. And I'm not doing it for a financial stream, but it's just really to get eyeballs on, which is what I'm looking to do. And then get them over to, obviously the Spearhead website. And then from there, clientele and be able to help those people out. So I'm still debating it. I'm very wishy-washy on it. I've been indoctrinated. And that's, and I'm not blaming the military per se, but it was very much, you're in the military, you're active duty, you're not on TikTok. And there might be some units out there or some leadership elements in the different branches or units of the military that said they don't care or they don't monitor. So you still do it anyway. I don't know. But I know that the last 3 teams I was with put out explicit instructions, including my current job that works, with the government in this, advising and assisting. Explicit instructions. You will not have TikTok on your work devices. So I've been drinking that Kool-Aid for so long. Technically, my cell phone is my cell phone, but I don't have a work phone. What is this thumbs down on YouTube? I didn't do thumbs down. Put the thumbs down away. Get it away. Go back to thumbs up. So I do some work on the phone. So technically speaking, there is a bit of like a gray area on whether my phone is a work device. I mean, it's technically not a work device, but I do work sometimes through my phone if I'm traveling. So I don't know. I guess it really depends on how much I care about that stuff. It's not anything TikTok does on my phone. It's not going to seep onto my work devices. I got some decent enough protection in that regard. Also, I'm not putting anything out there that's going to attract that sort of level of attention and espionage scrutiny or whatever. So whatever. I don't know. Anyway, that's where I think it's coming from. That's where I think these phrases are coming from. If you have TikTok, please comment, DM me, call the hotline. Let me know if you're seeing this stuff on TikTok to kind of verify my theory, my assessment that these trends that are coming from the dating apps are coming from TikTok. Maybe they're coming from Reddit. Maybe they're coming from dating coaches. I don't know. I know there are some dating coaches out there that basically teach copy paste prompt answers on dating profiles. The one I work with does not do that. She gives you guidelines on how to be yourself, but also attract the people you want via your prompts. So I really do. I actually appreciate that. And I'm in the process of updating my dating profiles to see how that actually is going to work. But there are a lot of people out there that tell you they have templates of text messages and prompts and how your profile should look. And they're working it as like a business. Like this is what the algorithm will think, and when we say algorithm in dating, it's what women would be attracted to or what men would be attracted to. So I get that in that regard. Plus you're dealing with a ton of clients. So it's a lot easier to have, products, copy paste products and templates to just shotgun out there. But I'm not a fan of that method of anything. Even with my leadership consulting and coaching, I don't do that. I have a very basic foundational level framework. And the only other thing that I send out to people that is quote unquote copy and paste or a template is the initial questionnaire of general questions, so I can get a good beat on their idea of what good leadership is, a little bit more about them, a little bit more about their problems, so that when we get to our first call or first meeting, I have a baseline to go off of, and then I have a framework that I work internally, but it's tailored to the person. They don't even see the framework. I'll talk to them about it, like this is how we're going to do things, but it's all for them. It's all based on how they answer the questions in the questionnaire, how our first conversation goes, what their goals are, what their problems are, all that stuff, what their company's issues are, all that. So I am not a fan of the copy paste. Most instructors and coaches and teachers out there do a lot of copy paste, and they use that as sort of advertisements to work with them one-on-one. That's not my thing. Okay, if you're hiring me to give a speech or an engagement or a presentation, I'm going to ask you for some specific information on the audience so I can tailor it to them so that they can get value immediately, and it's not serving as sort of like a sleazy marketing ploy and advertisement to, you want the real answers and real secrets, sign up with me. I don't like that idea in any realm, so I don't do it. But I digress. Help me find out the source of these trends so that we can stay ahead and I can keep you updated on when I see them out in the wild. Because now if we can find the source, we can see it, and then I can report back, oh, we saw this at the source on this day, and then 3 days later, it's all over the profiles. So now we have time and we can build a pattern in life of when the trends are coming, and we can, adjust our dating fires accordingly. So that's just how my brain works sometimes. I gather intel, do recon, build the pattern of life, and then plan your operation according to that intel to get after your mission. That's it. So anyway, moving on. I don't know, what the hell am I talking about? All right, quick Yankees Mets playoffs updates. It's Friday right now when I'm recording this. It's Friday, 18 October. So I want to put that out there. I always try and I always fail usually. I always try to make these episodes, at least the Junction topic, something that you can listen to whenever, and it's not going to be too topical, and it's not going to be it's not going to be outdated or make no sense if you listen to it weeks down the road. But sometimes the playoffs are now. So we got to talk, that's what we're going to talk about now. So if you listen to this 4 weeks from now, obviously the information is going to be outdated. But it's Friday, the 18th of October when I'm recording this. And as of right now, the Yankees will play against the Guardians again tonight in Game 4. They're up 2-1. The Mets are playing Game 5 against the Dodgers, down 3-1 to the Dodgers. Now, I'm recording before they play those games tonight. So the Mets may be knocked out by the time this even posts. I don't know. I thought the Mets were gonna do Mets magic and shock the world and upset the Dodgers. But after watching these past 4 games, even the games that they won, the Dodgers are just a better team. Unfortunately, because I hate the Dodgers. And I don't like the coach, Dave Roberts. I didn't like him since, what was it, 2004 when the Red Sox embarrassed the Yankees. They were down 3-0 in the ALCS, and they came back and won, and then they ended up breaking the curse and winning the World Series that year. Good for them overall, whatever. But he pinch ran in like the 9th inning or some crap like that and stole a base on Mariano Rivera. And he made this whole big deal about how, the whole game, all I did was study the tape on Mariano Rivera's pickoff move and his wind up when he's pitching from the stretch, and I got the timing down perfectly, and I nailed that stolen base, and I'm the hero, blah blah, and all this other crap. Like he was the single reason he saved the season. Here's the thing, buddy. Yeah, you were fast. Okay. Got it. No doubt about it. And you're a smart base runner. No doubt about that. But Mariano Rivera's motion from the stretch, all you got to do is watch 2 pitches, maybe 3, and one of his pickoff moves. That's it. You don't need 4 hours, 3 hours of tape to watch to get the timing down. And I know people are gonna say, well, that's why you're not a pro and he is, and blah, blah, blah. No, that's not it at all. Because I pinch ran most of my college baseball career and even high school baseball career was running for the catcher. And I didn't get caught stealing an awful lot if you look at my numbies. Okay? It doesn't take much to see how quick somebody's motion is. And Mariano Rivera did not have a very quick motion from the stretch to home plate. So it wasn't a terribly, incredible feat that you stole a base on Mariano Rivera. He was never known for pickoffs and quick pitches and things like that. So, whatever. Good for you. I never liked that. He always had that attitude where he was the secret hero just because he stole a base. Randy, stop licking. Damn it, Randy. And so I don't like him. I also don't like Kike Hernandez. He's good and he's playing really well in the playoffs, which is clutch for your team. That's what you want. So I have no problem with that, but I just don't like his attitude. I never met the guy, so he might be a good guy in real life. I don't know. But I think he does a lot of things for show to pretend he's like a regular guy, but he's really not. And I, of course, don't like Ohtani. I know he's great and everybody loves him and they're all sucking him off like he's the greatest player ever. But first and foremost, this regular season alone, Judge beat him handily in everything except for stolen bases. So you could say what you want. Everyone was talking about Ohtani's magical year, 50-50 guy, the only person to ever do it, got a great accomplishment. One, nobody's stealing bases anymore. So cool, you got it. All right, especially with the new rules now of how many pickoffs pitchers can make per batter. It's a lot easier to steal bases now, okay? But good accomplishment all the same. When you're the first to do something in the pros, it is a real legit accomplishment. So I'm not taking that away from him. But everything else, Judge owned him on. Okay? So that's number one. Number two, he's a gambling addict. And I can't believe nobody else on TV, the media, the sports analysts, the radio hosts, the disc jockeys out there, the MLB, the FBI, nobody is even talking about it anymore. The guy, he is the culprit. He was the gambling addict, or at the very least, he helped his boy Ippei with the gambling stuff. There's no doubt in my mind about it. And the fact that nobody's even asking that question anymore makes me think even more so that he had something to do with that whole gambling thing. And he's letting Ippei fry. The ultimate trench guy, Ippei. He's letting him burn for that. $16 million. You mean to tell me that everybody is just completely accepting the fact that that Ohtani's camp is like he had no idea that $16 million went missing from his account? It was, Ippei was lying to him the whole time, saying it was for other stuff and it was really for gambling, and he never questioned it once. He just blindly trusted him and said, don't tell me why you need $16 million. Just take it. No problem. Don't forget, the first thing that the Ohtani camp said when this all came out was, we knew about it. Don't worry, guys. It's okay. We knew about it. And then 2 hours later, they retracted that statement and pretend like it never happened. They didn't even say like, oh, no, we made a mistake. We didn't know what we were talking about. We thought you meant this, and that's what we knew about that, but not this whole... No, they just pretended like it never happened. And when Ippei took the fall and said, yeah, I'm guilty, I stole it all, of course they're not going to further investigate anything. They said they would, but we know they didn't. That is Rob Manfred, the MLB commissioner's boy. That's his golden goose. It's a Dodgers golden goose. So, of course, they're not going to do anything. They're going to try to sweep it under the rug. And this guy is getting away with it. He doesn't even need a translator. I watched him in the games in the playoffs this past week, and he's talking to his guys on the bench, each individual person he's having conversations with. He hit a home run, and he's running around the bases, and he's like, let's go, in English. You could see it, you could see his lips. You could read his lips. He doesn't have a translator anywhere near him walking around talking to his team. So did they all learn Japanese? Was that what's happening here? No. The guy set up Ippei from the jump, He was gambling with them. He was supplying the money to feed the addiction. And then when shit hit the fan, he jumped right out of the trench and let eBay jump on that grenade. Said, "You got this, pal. See ya." Because he knew he had Rob Manfred to back him up. And that bastard is out there happy-go-lucky now, the hero of the Dodgers, leading into a World Series appearance. And we're just supposed to sit back and not even question it anymore. And if we do, is he going to take me out? He's going to Harry carry me? But give me a break. So long story longer, I don't want the Dodgers to win. I know I'm a Yankees fan. I'm supposed to hate the Mets because of that. But my grandfather, Big Al Scalinci, was a Mets fan, so I don't mind the Mets. I don't like Pete Alonso so much. I think he's more of a performative artist when it comes to on the mic stuff and what he cares about, but I don't know him in person, so I don't know for sure. I just don't like him right now. Otherwise, I don't care. I wanted the Mets magic to continue so they can upset the Dodgers. I don't think it's going to happen. I think the magic is kind of gone, and now they have to go skill versus skill, and unfortunately, the Dodgers are more skilled. They're a deeper team. They're a better team overall. So we'll see how that ends up. Could be over by time you listen to this. Who knows? The Yankees, on the other hand, I am more confident now that they could make it to the World Series. I don't think they're going to win the World Series because I think that the Dodgers are better. And even the Mets, if they come back and win and they got that magic still, they're going to be dangerous. So I don't know how that's going to work. I am a little bit more confident the way they've been playing against the Guardians, that these first 3 games, that they can take them out and do it. But what I'm nervous about, besides the fact that they're really not that good of a team and they're showing it, and the Guardians gave them the first 2 games because they made a bunch of mistakes. And once again, the Yankees had to rely on other teams losing in order for them to look successful. Whatever. As long as it works, I don't care. As long as they win, that's all I care about. I want them to win it. But I am nervous that the Yankees are a momentum team. And not in the good sense, okay? Not in the sense that they're going to build momentum off of wins and good outings and good hits and positive stuff and build off of that momentum and keep going and keep succeeding like the Mets have been doing recently. The Yankees haven't been able to do that pretty much all year, especially at the end of the year. They could not string more than 2 games in a row winning. It was crazy to see that they couldn't win. They couldn't sweep anybody at the end there. So, sporadically they did, maybe. But the Yankees are a negative momentum team. Hello. Negative momentum team. So when they lose or something bad happens to the team, there's a clutch situation and they blow it, bases loaded, no outs, and they can't score runs, they spiral off of that negative momentum. Okay? They feed off of the negativity. And the Guardians just beat them in game 3 in extra innings after the Yankees came back to take the lead in the game by 2 runs. Luke Weaver gave up a 2-run home run to tie the game in the 9th, and he was due. They've been overusing him, that poor bastard, because they have nobody else. They can't trust Clay Holmes, obviously, and I'll tell you why more so in a second. And everybody else is they're not capable to handle that effort, that stress of when you have to pitch in these playoff games, whatever. So they're overusing him, and it was only a matter of time before Luke Weaver gave up a home run. He gave up a pretty decent amount of home runs this year from the relief spot. That was his kryptonite was he does give up the occasional home run, and it hurts. So he was due for that, unfortunately. So I wasn't shocked by that. I was more disappointed and sad that they brought him in the 8th inning again and made him pitch 2 innings to get this save. And they couldn't rely on their other relievers to help him out a little bit to get him to the 9th. So he's tired. He's overworked. Of course, it was only a matter of time. So he gives up this game-tying home run. And then who do they have left to throw in the 10th inning? Damn Clay Holmes. Damn Clay Holmes. And of course, it's a situation where the game's on the line. And what does Clay Holmes do when the game is on the line? He blows it. That's all he knows how to do. With him and his little arm prints, that's all he knows how to do is blow games when they're on the line. And every batter he faced, every single batter he faced, put the ball in fair territory, put the ball in play. And that's what you want to do as an offensive team, on the offensive side. That's what you want to do. You want to put the ball in play, especially in the playoffs, and put it on the other team to get you out. And for whatever reason, once again, Clay makes sure that everybody gets a chance to put the ball in play. And he eventually got a guy on, and then eventually he gave up the game-winning home run. Now, again, the Yankees are still up 2-1. And the Yankees are a better team than the Guardians overall. Not by much, but they are a little talent-wise a little bit better overall. Little bit. But the Guardians are a momentum team in the positive. They feed off of the positive momentum. They'll step up in the clutch to try to make things happen. And they have the momentum now. And that's what worries me, is that the Yankees only feed off of negative momentum, and I worry they're going to spiral. That they're going to be playing against a Guardians team that they should be beating, and they're all going to spiral, and they're all going to shit the bed at the same time, and they're going to lose out. They have the easiest road to the World Series, and I'm worried they're going to lose out because of that. So that's where we stand with the playoffs. Now that I went 45 minutes bitching and moaning, I hope the Yankees win. I do. I want them to win the World Series. I want them to prove me wrong and shut me up, because I'm going to be the first person at the ticker tape parade telling everybody I knew it the whole time. There was never a doubt. And I'm going to delete all these previous episodes from this entire season. And we're going to be celebrating. And I'm going to be buying merch. And I'm going to be throwing ticker tape paper everywhere. And it's going to be a grand old time. That's what I want. So we'll see. Anyway, let's get into the good stuff. Finally, step into the cage.
Okay, let's run.
All right. Today's Into the Cage segment is proudly sponsored by Shell Straws. Are you a total straw slut, but hate the toxic paper straws and are worried that all those plastic straws are killing the turtles? Then Shell Straws is for you. Shell Straws is an all-new straw alternative made entirely from the shells of the turts who succumbed to death by plastic straw. Now, instead of being part of the all-turt murder, you can be part of the all-turt reincarnation as an environmentally friendly disposable straw user. And pay no attention to the residual taste of rotting turtle carcass in the straws. That's just what happens after you fish out a dead turt out of the water that's been lying there for weeks on end. So to get your Shell Straw today, visit www.turtletown.com. If you use the promo code SHELLSHOCK, you get 29% off your first pack of disposable Shell Straws. That's actually a good idea. Use the shell. Make reusable, washable, hard straws from the turt shells of those who passed before. Reduce, reuse, recycle, and this is a reuse situation. You reuse the shell to make the straw. That creates less straws in the water. It's a business that's going to, it's going to catch fire in the beginning, and then it'll eventually put itself out of business. But you're helping the environment. So you got to like that. Anyway, stupid. That was stupid. Cage fact. We talked previously about memorable Nic Cage quotes and lines that are ingrained in our brains forever, and we always know that was him who said it. And one of those lines being, "I'm going to steal the Declaration of Independence." Now, he talked about this recently. And he was talking about how the line became it's like a cult following just for that quote itself. and how silly and stupid and crazy it sounds like Nic Cage is going to steal the Declaration of Independence. But he said that he knew it was silly, funny, dopey line and comical. But he didn't say it in a comical way. He wasn't using sarcasm. He wasn't being facetious. He wasn't trying to say it in a funny, silly way on purpose because he knew his character, Ben Gates, in that movie, Ben Gates is serious. He's seriously trying to protect the Declaration and then also find that treasure to put it in good hands, like an Indiana Jones situation. It belongs in a museum. So because he was serious, Ben Gates was a serious guy, he was saying that seriously. In the movie, he was saying it seriously. He wasn't trying to be comical. So that's why Nic Cage took the serious route. And because of that, it ended up being more funny and had more praise, and it was more memorable because that was what made it funny. It's like, this guy's serious right now. He's going to steal the Declaration of Independence. And you look in his eyes and you're like, this guy's dead serious. He's going to steal it. And that's why he did that. Because he knew, they all knew, like, this is what you want me to say? I'm going to steal the Declaration of Independence. And Nic Cage is like, don't worry, I got this. And he knew if he said it in a funny way, it would have taken away from the movie, because the movie had funny lines in it and fun times, and it was a good family-friendly, fun movie in general. But it was these characters they were serious about what they were doing. That's what made the movie so fun and good. It wasn't a drama, but it was seriously themed, I guess you could say. I don't know how to describe that in the movie industry, but that's why he did it. So that's why it ended up being funnier, because it was a guy taking it very seriously, and Ben Gates was a serious guy. So that's the Cage fact. All right, moving over to the Junction. We'll spin the logo up. I only want to talk about one thing, and then we got a hotline call. I did this thing this past week. Now, as I continue my efforts to build and grow Spearhead leadership, I'm always constantly trying to network with people and identify opportunities to continue learning and growing, and then finding avenues to grow the business so that I can take that full time and just be in Spearhead full time. Now, with that comes the willingness to try new things that you normally wouldn't do. Okay. Now, I'm also doing the dating content stuff, so this actually helps this a little bit too. But I found this app. There was an ad on Instagram. I was, because I'm doing the dating things on the side, the ads, the algorithm is sending me is a lot of dating app ads, meetup stuff. All these are like, you're obviously a lonely person. You need help here, go meet up with these other lonely suckers and whatever. So I found this app through this ad called Time Left. Now, it intrigued me because it was not necessarily a dating app. It was a socialization app. It was one of those, hey, do you want to get out and socialize and meet new people in life? And you're not really doing it on your own right now? Well, let us do the work for you and enjoy, meeting strangers or whatever. So I checked it out. And basically what it is, and they have it in a bunch of major cities. I don't know how many different cities, but Houston's a big city, so they have it here. And actually, it's a pretty big operation here, but I'll get into that later. So basically what it is you sign up, you create your profile. They ask you a couple questions to find out about like yourself, what you like, what you're looking for from this app experience, what kind of people do you get along most with. And then it finds 4, 5, 6 other people that kind of line up with what you're looking for as well. And it reserves a table for you at a restaurant. And now clearly they have deals and relationships with a bunch of restaurants in the city. because a bunch of people are doing it. And I think there was 2 tables at my restaurant alone that were part of this whole deal, this whole app experience. But they make the reservation. All you have to do is show up and have dinner with these strangers and meet these people and get to know them and socialize and have a good time. And then, and even after that, they set up a central location like a brewery or a bar or whatever for everybody to go to the after party. So then everybody who was doing their own individual dinners can go meet up at this after party and hang out and meet new people. Or you could see people you had dinner with previously if you've been doing it for a while. And it's a grand old time to socialize. And it's not joining a run club. It's not doing something that maybe you don't like. I was interested in signing up for intramural sports like kickball or not softball, but kickball or baseball or something like that, or soccer even. But my issue is I'm competitive, and I probably would make more enemies than friends because I know these people are out there trying to have a good time. And I don't like to commit to a team if I can't 100% commit to showing up every day or every week. And sometimes these schedules don't line up with my life schedule, and I feel bad joining a team and being like, oh, I can't go. Like that hurts the team, and these guys are trying to have a good time and play, and I didn't want to do that. I have commitment issues in that regard. And I don't want to join a run club. I run because I hate it and I suck at it, and I need to break out of my comfort zone with something stressful and difficult. I don't want to socialize when I run. Unfortunately, that's just not what I do. I'm going to be that's a solo venture that I undertake to better myself and to expand my comfort zone in that regard. I don't want to socialize and run. And recently run clubs, especially in this area, have become the de facto spot to go and pick up women. And I've been looking at some of the run clubs around town, and they're starting to be overrun by guys. So I don't necessarily want to do that either. I don't want to be lumped into that group of people that's like, oh, you just joined this club to try to pick up chicks. Like, no, I just wanted to meet some people and run. But I'm not going to be able to talk when I'm running anyway. I'm not in that good a shape. I struggle when I run, so I'm not going to be socializing to begin with. And B, I'm not trying to pick up chicks on runs. No, that's just not how I do chick pickups. So I didn't want to join a run club. This is a perfect thing for me to be able to get out there and meet new people, maybe make some new friends. If there is sort of like a romantic interest with somebody that's, that's at the table that we meet, cool. If not, no big deal. Also, there's the after party, so you can meet more people. And if you do it a couple times, it's once a week. It's like a monthly subscription, like $25 a month. And it's less if you bulk, if you buy in bulk, and then you pay for your own dinner, obviously. But they do all the work for you, and if you make it a regular thing, you're going to build your network of friends and new people, and you can share new experiences and learn about more what the city has to offer, learn about what other cool stuff people are doing that you might be interested in. So it was great. The idea was great. So I show up to this thing, and I get in there, and the hostess is like, "Oh yeah, you're at table 2 over here. Don't worry, you're gonna have a lot of fun. This is a really fun table right here." And I get there, and there's three women, and they're all in absolute silence, heads down in their menus. And the first thing I thought of was like, I guess I am the fun. I guess I have to bring the fun, and it's now my responsibility to bring the fun to this table because these people are not talking to anybody. So I was not looking forward to that. I did not like that right off the bat. I could be a showman if need be, but I don't get my jollies off of it. It's one of those things that's just, I'll do it if I have to, but I don't necessarily want to. That being said, I did come to find out that they already were talking to each other and getting to know each other. And then they were just like, hey, we should look at the menu now before the rest of the people get here so that we know what we want to eat. And then we could talk to people. And that's how it ended up being fine. And I was there with 3 women and one other male. I think 2 people were supposed to show up, but they were no shows, unfortunately. But it was a really great dinner experience. I thought for sure it was going to be super weird and awkward, and I was going to have to carry this whole thing. Like, I don't know why, like who the hell I am that it's going to be on me to carry this. But it wasn't like that at all. Everyone was super friendly. A lot of things we had in common. Very nice. A couple of people are regulars at this, and they were telling us how, like, oh, every time I do this, I'm never at the same table as I was with somebody prior. So I'm always meeting new people and learning new things, and it's a great time and blah, blah, blah. And we did have a great time. We got some desserts and we shot the shit and we did some icebreaker stuff. We found out about things that we can all do together later on in the future. And it was really great. It's definitely an app for people who are introverted, more on the introverted side, especially if you like work from home, so you're not getting out on your own to begin with, which is definitely more so me. Because there was a lot of people in the tech sector, the IT space that work from home, clacking away in the matrix, and they're trying to get out and meet new people and have some fun with their lives and be social. So I get it, but they were great. Everything was great. I had a really good time. I highly recommend it. One of the people that was in it was in a relationship, and they still do it. They both do it separately, and then they come to the after party and hang out together sometimes. So you don't have to be single. It's not just for singles. In fact, it's for everybody. If you want to socialize, the table 2 tables down that was also doing it was like older people, 50s, 60s years old types of people doing it to socialize and get out. I don't know if they were all single or they were just looking for some sort of thing to do each week. The one guy at our table, that's part of his weekly routine. Wednesday nights, he does time left. He goes to dinner with a new crew. So it was really fun. I highly recommend it for anybody who is looking to do something new and meet some new people. Even if you're not friends with them, you just do something new. You find, like, you learn about new places in town to eat at and try. Now you know this. Now I can go bring a date here. I could bring my friend or my wife or my husband or whatever. And it's not expensive. $25 a month, and you could do it monthly. And you don't have to go to all 4. You can go once a month, twice a month, or whatever if you want to. You select at the ahead of each week, you select whether you want to do it or not for that week. So I'm definitely going to do it again. However, I cannot do it every week. I am not the type of person that feeds off of the energy of others like that and feeds off of that high pace. You were basically on a date with 5 other people at the same time, a first date. So you were learning about everybody. You're trying to learn, trying to remember their names and what they do. I asked the one person like what their job was 2 times, and not like, hey, what did you say you did again? It was, oh, what do you do for work? And she's like, I just told you. I was like, you're right. I'm in it. Like, my bad. It was just a lot of information being thrown at you. It's very exciting. It's high pay, high energy, fun energy. But for me, I need to go back and recharge the batteries in solitude. I need to come back to the LPDS compound and recharge the batteries in solitude. And that's fine. Most of them were the same way. I don't know how the two other people do it every week. They must spend the next 6 days in solitude to recharge their batteries. But I can't do it every week. It was tiring, and it would become exhausting if I did it every week, especially with all the other stuff I'm doing during the school week for Spearhead and the other opportunities I'm working on and this and that. So I don't want to set myself up for failure. So I'm probably going to do it maybe twice a month, maybe every other week, depending on how things go. And then I'll start creating that as part of my weekly routine or every other, bi-weekly routine that I'm going to do this because I had a good time. And again, I highly recommend it for other people too. And I don't care. Like, I'm in a phase now in my life the past 2-3 years where I am leaning more towards into trying new shit and not caring if there's a stigma behind it, if people think I'm lame, if it sounds cheesy or whatever. I'm just going to try it. It definitely sounds kind of cheesy, like a dinner for strangers. Like you can't find your own friends. You got to go meet other people. You have somebody else to help you meet people. Yeah, sure. I'll give it a shot. See how it goes. I got a couple of opportunities behind the scenes that I think can actually really help me in the future with Spearhead when it comes to networking and building clientele and combining forces with other businesses. But some of these opportunities are things that otherwise I would have thought years ago, like, I don't want to do this. This is, I don't want to be associated, I don't want to be this kind of guy or this kind of, whatever, this salesman or this advisor or whatever it was, whatever it is. I'm leaning into that more. I'm opening myself up. So I have no problem with people coming at me about like, oh, you need help finding friends, or you need a dating coach to go date. You need this to better. You need a business mentor to better your business and better yourself. Yeah, I'm trying it all. Okay, I am now outside of the stigma. I'm getting myself outside of the stigma that as an adult, if I want to learn something new or get better at something I already know, I will seek help from professionals and experts at it. Okay? If I want to have better dating experiences, to meet better women and have better connections, I would absolutely be open to working with a professional who can help me do that, who knows the ropes, who lives in that world and does it professionally and can help me do that. Absolutely. If I'm trying to grow my business and learn about starting your own business and finding clients and prospecting and this and that, yeah, I am open to talking to a business, coach, a mentor who's done that and has also helped other people do that as well. Just like athletes have trainers and hitting coaches in the baseball community, they're professional athletes. They're already the best at what they do, and they still have outside coaches to come help them get better. I'm on board for that. If there's an organization, there's an app that says, hey, you want to be able to socialize more and get out of your house and meet some new people and try some new shit and check out some new restaurants along the way, we'll take care of the logistics. All you have to do is show up at this table at this time, and that's it. You're good to go. Yeah, I'm going to try it out. Worst case scenario, I have a meal and I go home, and that's it. Really not a lot of downside on that one. So I'm going to be doing that more. I'm going to be finding more stuff like this, especially if it's going to give me avenues to network and grow my brand and my name in this area, in this city. So stay tuned for that. I'll let you know the next time I go on one. I didn't know that there was an after party set up until it was too late. So I didn't go this time, but I'll go to the next one, see how they are, and I'll keep you posted. Do I think, based on, the demographic of people that this appeals to, that I'll find like a love interest? Not so much. I'm not highly confident in that, but I'm certainly not closed off to it. There's over 200 people that do this weekly. So that's 200 more people than I would have interacted with otherwise. So again, I'll keep you posted. I had a very good time. And again, just try it. If you're looking to do something different with low downside, give it a shot. Give it a shot. It's really not that not that expensive or scary or anything like that. So anyway, that's all I got on that. Time Left app. Good time. Dinner for strangers. Great time. All right, really quick. We got a hotline call, and then we'll get out of here. So stand by 1 second. Let me do what I got to do to get the hotline stuff set up for all you cool cats and kittens out there. That's terrible. I hated that lady. I don't know why I used that reference. Anyway.
Hello, Mr. Libretti. I'm calling on behalf of Emory Riddle, and we know that you're a now debt-free alumni, which means you have disposable income that you can help get our great institution even better. Please reach out so we can figure out how to continue to siphon money away from your lifestyle. Thank you.
All right. Thank you for the call. Full disclosure, this call came a couple weeks ago, and I just didn't play it. I guess I forgot that it was there. I remember that I got it. I saw the notification, and then I just didn't play it last week. That being said, what this person was calling in reference to was my big announcement that I have paid off all my student loans that went to my college, Embry-Riddle. That's the college in question. So this person called immediately after that, after hearing that episode, to respond to that. And I just, for whatever reason, didn't play it last week. Completely forgot. So that's on me for forgetting. And what I'm really sorry about is that joke is wildly funny, and would have been even more funny if the timing was there. If it was played, if I played it the week after, in consecutive episodes, it would have played a lot better. People would have understood it a lot better. I wouldn't have to explain the situation here. Now it's just a random call. Why is this person pretending to be Embry-Riddle to get more money out of you? I don't get it. Well, it's because of that episode where I announced I'm now student debt free. And now the school's calling. I said I'm never paying another dime at that school ever again. And then they called. That's the joke. Very funny joke. I apologize that I ruined the joke for you, because I know it would have been a great joke if I didn't ruin it. It was not a low-hanging fruit joke whatsoever, at all. It was a top tier. If in the comedy world, that's considered a top tier joke. It's topical. It plays to a subject matter I just talked about. So it's, recent, sarcastic, funny, great joke. High hanging fruit, they call it. HHF in the joke world. And I blew the timing on it by not playing it. And now it looks like it's coming off as a bad joke, as a low-hanging fruit joke, as a not funny joke, as something that somebody would listen to and be like, this guy stinks. I don't know why he thinks he's funny. He's not. He needs to get new material or just quit the biz and comedy altogether. But that's not the case. This is my fault. I created that fake perception of this person's comedic genius, and it had nothing to do with that effort at all. The effort was there. Top tier, HHF, high hanging fruit, and I made it low. I made it low hanging. So I apologize for that. Thank you for the call. I really appreciate it. Keep calling the hotline, guys. Keep giving me the high hanging fruit jokes. I will get better at making sure that the hotline calls get played when I get them, unless there's a particular topic where it doesn't line up. If we're talking about something serious, I'm not going to play joke calls. Or if I'm on a road trip and I'm doing road episodes, I'm not going to play hotline calls on the road like that. So otherwise, I will do a much better job playing the hotlines as they come in, because I don't want this to happen again. We can't have this happen again, guys. Okay? We can't have the reputation as someone's comedic genius be thrown to the wolves because of my mistakes. And hand up, I made the mistake. I ruined that. I was the reason why that joke was not funny. No other reason why that joke was a stinker but me. No other reason. Anyway, thank you for the call. I appreciate it. Now that's all I got. Before we go, really quick, the big three, the three pillars to staying strong and being a better, happier, kinder, healthier, less stressed, more positive, more genuine human being, and spreading that positivity and goodness to all those around you and throughout the land. Number one, exercise every day. Whatever you got to do, find a way to get your exercise in, whether it's physically, mentally, or emotional exercise. So go for a workout, go for a walk after a meal, do jumping jacks, read a book, do a crossword, a word search, some brain games, take up a hobby, pray, meditate, breath work, yoga, whatever you got to do one thing every day to improve your physical, mental, and emotional health and wellness. Number 2, the hardest one to do, don't be a shitty person, be a kind person. And kindness, guys, and not being shitty, more often than not, is as simple as just not doing anything. Not posting your political opinion on Instagram, not responding to somebody's bullshit opinion on social media, even if they're wrong and it makes you angry and they deserve to be, responded to aggressively. Just don't do it. Okay? It's the hardest one to do because in the moment you want to get them, especially if they deserve it. You want to get them. You want to shut them up. You want to let them know what kind of a piece of garbage they are. But all you're doing is adding shit and negativity to the world. Okay? You might feel good for a second. And if you feel good for more than that second, you also have a problem that you need to address with a therapist. Okay? That's a serious issue. I'm not joking about that. That's a serious issue if you get your jollies off of being shitty to people you think deserve it. Because now you're the arbiter of morality and ethics, and you're on this moral high horse, but you're really just living in the negative, in the shit. And you've lost the bubble on the whole thing. So if that's the case, I really think you need to get some help, and you should. If you need me to help you get there, please let me know and reach out, because there are people out there. I see it. I had to mute a lot of people's Instagram stories and posts and stuff that I follow, friends, family, just regular people, whatever, because they can't help themselves. They're in some sort of weird, mental state where they have to put out their aggressively negative opinion towards somebody or something. And I don't want that negativity in my life anymore. And the easiest way for me to omit myself from those situations is just to mute them, never see them. What is the out of sight, out of mind? No problem. That's how you do it, folks. Just mute their story so you see less of it. Okay? It's very hard. I get it. Anyway, the most important one, number 3, the most important pillar of the big 3, be genuinely thankful and grateful for all the good you have in your lives. And it's so important. You should probably do that. That should be the first thing you do each day when you wake up. Think about the good in your lives. Think about one good thing in your life, and think about what your life would be like without that thing and how shitty it would be. And that immediately puts you in a state of gratitude to start off your day. And when you're in the state of gratitude, I'll tell you what you're not thinking about doing. You're not thinking about being a shitty person. You're not thinking about being a negative person. You're not thinking about posting something stupid or crazy on social media just to get likes and attention and stir up trouble and think you're sticking it to that person or whatever you're doing. I showed them, let me ask you a question, you moron. Blah, blah. If you're in gratitude, you're not even considering doing that stuff. Okay? And if you couple that with actively looking for opportunities to not be shitty and omitting yourself so you're not a shitty person and not negative, and you couple that with exercising every day, and you do those 3 things each and every day, I promise you, you'll be a better, happier, kinder, healthier, more positive, more productive, genuine human being. And you'll be able to spread that positivity and goodness to all those around you throughout the land. Thank you guys again for tuning in. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Put your notifications on. Tell your friends and enemies. Hit that hotline 202-670-1114 so that we can get your calls on here, not late, on time, and we can get your jokes to actually land and not be ruined by me. 202-670-1114. Thank you guys again. I love you all. Stay strong.